Hello, beautiful being. This topic today is really, really important, so listen up. Do you feel bad when you feel good? Let me rephrase that. When you feel good, do you start feeling bad for feeling good? Yeah, it's a really important topic, especially in the topics of law of vibration, in the field of law of attraction. Let's get to the bottom of this today, all right? So the agenda is let's just talk about this. Let's talk about what it really is, and let's shift some energy today. Want to? My name is Rebecca Abraxas. Thanks so much for being here on my channel. It's all about remembering our greatness together. It's about awakening and living with higher frequencies called the ascension process. So if you found this video, sounds like you are on an amazing awakening journey, and thank you for sharing your light with the planet. So this is really common. I have been through this a lot too myself. And so when you are starting to feel really good, you get that guilty feeling, maybe a little shame, maybe like you just feel bad for feeling good. And it's really easy to do, especially when we are on this global network of social media, right? We see everything that's happening around the globe. And while more and more people are trying to post positive and happy things that are happening and well being, because really there's actually more well being happening on the planet than not. Um, the truth is, destruction and despair gets more ratings across the board because the pain body in the 3D collective is rampant and rapid. So it's what people use to kind of get views and make money. So we're kind of all part of this manipulation here. But because it gets views and that content gets seen more, we get to see a lot of stuff on the planet that's happening. That's awful, right? That's just awful all around. And seeing that, sometimes we feel like, oh my gosh, I should be doing something more in the world. Oh my gosh, I feel I'm my empathy and my compassion, I should feel bad about this. I should feel something to go do something about it. And that's really mixed up vibrationally, okay? But the world has us kind of believing that because when we watch something, everything that all the messaging around empathy and compassion is really twisted. No, having empathy and compassion does not mean that you should lower your vibration and feel bad too to go take action. It's actually the opposite. So, beautiful being, if you are vibrating high and feeling really good, and then you take a look at what's happening on the planet and you lower your vibration, you say, oh, I should take action. That's really the opposite, okay? So bear with me here. What if you're raising your vibration, you're shining bright, and you're doing your work, right? You're doing the work to stay elevated, to shine bright for the planet, and you start to see some things that are awful. That's not really doesn't seem like well-being. What do you do? How do you walk in empathy and compassion without lowering your vibration and feeling bad? This is how we do it. So, one, if it's coming into your feed, there's some kind of vibrational connection. One, to maybe do something or be a voice for that, or maybe you are a voice vibrationally for that. Maybe you have some kind of vibration in your subconscious that's matching that. So, one, if it's coming into your field and you see it, it's a vibrational match on some level. So, I would do a few things here. One, I would ask some questions. What is this? Is this mine to do? Okay. What is this? Is this mine to do? Okay. And it just, those kind of questions help us get clear. And then three, I would ask, how do I stay in my high vibration and contribute to this cause if you feel like it's yours to do? And so I do this analogy a lot in my videos. I talk about someone getting stuck in a really deep well, right? Someone's down there, way down there. And you come across and you hear them yelling, please help me. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I need to go help them. And you jump and you land deep down in the well. That's that first case scenario. The second case scenario is dun dun dun. I'm going to get a rope or a ladder. Hello down there. I'm staying up here and I'm going to send vibration. I'm going to send help down. So that analogy, I think, is a really good way to see that, like, if we go down, both of you are stuck there and you're not coming back up. But if one of you is stuck down there, vibrationally saying, and you come on up with your light and your highness here, you're up above, right? Like they're down 50 feet, you have a chance to bring them up to you. So the idea is, don't go down to them, have them come up to you. And so you can look down and say, wow, that looks hard. That looks scary. Okay, we got this. I'm going to get help, right? You can have compassion to be like, wow, must be hard being in your shoes right now. That's compassion. But it doesn't mean that you have to go feel every emotion and take on every frequency that they're going through down there, because then you're down there too. So the idea is, how do you not feel bad when you're looking at all the despair and awfulness that's being reported on the planet? You have compassion. You have healthy compassion, which is, must be really hard being in your shoes. And knowing with law of vibration and law of attraction that you trust the universe, that these are strong people having strong contrast that's going to help them become deliberate creators and raise their vibration through the contrast, because through the contrast, they're asking. So have compassion, but also have trust and celebrate them. You are so strong to have this much contrast in your life. Wow. And know and trust that the law of attraction doesn't just work with privileged people. It doesn't just work with people struggling. It doesn't just work in certain situations. The law of attraction is a law of the universe, and it happens everywhere to everything in being, whether someone wants to acknowledge it or not. And the more awake you become, the more you get to deliberately use this law to create whatever you want. But in the beginning, we're on default mode. We're just learning about contrast, right? So when I was little, I didn't know about this. I lived a lot of contrast when I was little. I had a broken home and an alcoholic father, and the energy was just, a traumatized mother. It was just pretty intense upbringing. A lot of love, but there was a lot of intensity. And I didn't know how to shield myself or take care of myself. And I was just a ping pong with energetics, picking up everyone's stuff. I was in that stage of being an empath and taking on everyone's negative stuff. And it was hard. And there was a lot of contrast. And we didn't have a lot of money, and we were getting kicked out of houses, and we were getting lights turned off, and it was a lot of contrast. And somehow, though, I was still going to Catholic school with people that were a lot wealthier than us and didn't really get what we were going through. And they never came down the well, which is a good thing. But that contrast helped me get to a point in my life where I was like, I am sick of not being happy. So I'm going to do whatever it takes to be happy. And I wouldn't have become such a voracious seeker if I didn't have that contrast. So please know that about yourself too. Beautiful being who is perhaps you're a deliberate creator and you follow the law of attraction and you're like, what got you to that point? Probably some big contrast, right? And what if someone took that contrast from you because they were trying to fix everything? You know, it's an interesting thing, trusting the universe. It's interesting trusting the despair and trusting the hard times people are having, because it's hard. Like, I mean, for me personally, I have a hard time watching people suffer. And I've always been a fix-it and a pleaser in my life. And I think that has a lot to do with, if you study anything about um, daughters or sons of alcoholics, that's a very common thing. The fix-it, being the fixer and not wanting to see suffering. But in that suffering, what if that's someone's ticket to blossoming and awakening and becoming like this amazing light on the planet that's taking us to a whole nother level? Let people have their contrast, see the hard time they're having, and then feel into, oh, is this person coming into my field? Is this situation coming into my field? Because we're a vibrational match for the contrast and for the expansion of consciousness that we're going to create together. So start to see everything as the law of attraction and expanding consciousness, and it'll help you be able to accept and allow when you're feeling good, even though sometimes bad things are happening. Okay, so that's how I see things, and it helps me a lot because I'm a very deep feeler. And yeah, so let me know in the comments, are you one of these people that has a huge heart? Are you one of these people that has found yourself feeling bad when you start to feel good? Okay, and I hope this perspective can help shift a little bit of that for you, because feeling good is your high vibration. Your high vibration is really required. Your light is really required here on the planet right now. So your joy, your light, your positivity, your hopefulness, your ecstasy, your deep knowing and intuition, all of that beautiful being, hold on to that. Allow it to keep raising and expanding. Because guess what? Your light may be someone's permission to be their light. It's important work. It's important work. So when you start to notice that you feel bad for feeling good, um, I do this sometimes when I'm in my manifesting pages, when I'm trying to manifest like different types of wealth or stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I promise I'll give it back to it's like that Catholic guilt that comes through. Oh, I promise if I get this that I'll give some away. Of course I will. I'll share it, I'll whatever, but that doesn't make any difference in when you're being a deliberate creator. It's like I'm thinking God's watching. If I don't give some of it back, that I'm not going to get what I want. It's really a little, but guys, when you are feeling good, when your vibration is high, it's a gift. It's a gift to the planet and to everyone else who is in a contrasting moment, because you're showing them the light. They're in the contrast. They have to get to the point where they're saying, I'm going to do whatever it takes. And it may take lifetimes, and they might be working out a lineage thing. I know in the Middle East, like there's so many past lives of this, such a strong lineage energy. It's going to take a very bright light to say, no more. I'm going to do whatever it takes to bring light to this lineage, to this culture. But it's happening, and those people are out there, and they're doing the work, and it's amazing. So beautiful being, feel good about feeling good, because your light is giving permission for someone else's light to shine, and allow the contrast, because that's how people are going to be able to come to that moment, that awakening moment. So thanks for being here. If you're not part of the tribe, feel free to subscribe and join Friday's live streams, and be sure to check out the descriptions. I've got lots of offerings down there. Namaste, beautiful being.